sady foy ny oetia fa tsy voalaza teny kely fa mampahory rehefa tsy voaloky ny va.
Pray outside the vigil for the end of abortion.
Well, I'm here to pray outside the clinic to give some spiritual reinforcement to the counsellors and to try and touch the woman's heart.
Well, I'm here to pray for obviously the babies that are going to be brought today, and the mums and all the people in the clinic, anybody involved in the clinic, in abortion, even the people that come with the mums that are going to abort their babies.
Pray that God will help them to change their mind.
For prayer vigil and to offer help to the women that are coming to the abortuaries. Let them know there's practical help available to them and that it's not judgmental, and we're just there for them.
How the procedure will look, how the baby looks, We want to give them, information about it. So they can make, right decision. It's very important decision, don't you think?
And it gives them the development stages of the baby, which married stokes never do. That turn the sonogram away from them.
And we're here to show God's love to those couples who are going in, who find themselves in a very difficult situation, and to let them know that there are people who would like to help them, who want to help them.
If we give them, to provide them with help to keep their baby, if they're willing to do that.
We usually pray the rosary, and we use Monsignor Riley's method. We've got a set prayer book, which we say these prayers. We start at the beginning and then with the Divine Mercy and prayer to end abortion. We read a passage from the Bible.
Saint Michael prayer.
I pray to Holy Spirit to guide me and to say the right things to the mums and the right people.
So the prayer really helps us in our work when the person is counselling the far side of the street. The prayer helps them in that.
I went to the church in evening, and after the mass there was a little seminar done by Annette, and she was talking about abortion business, sexual business, they're making a lot of money, and I really wanted to do something about it, so they contacted me, and here I am.
I was always, as far as I can remember, I was always pro-life. I didn't probably understand it as much as I should have, but the last few years when I started to find my faith again, when I started to come back to the Catholic Church, I was at home for a few months in Ireland. I had moved home, I was looking for work, there was no work in Ireland, so I was watching EWTN, and I seen a lot of the stuff they were doing in America about outside abortion clinics and stuff like that, and I knew that I was going to eventually have to move back to England.
It all started about 12 years ago when Monsignor Riley came to England and wanted to start up the Herpes Cod Precious Infants, and I met a friend there, and he encouraged me, and I started from there. And
it was a bit strange the first day. It was a bit hard to think what was actually going on behind those walls. But you put your trust in God and let Him do all the work, and just try not to think about it too much. At the same time, you can't forget what's going on in there, but not try to dwell on it. Just to keep praying, leave everything in God's hands.
Well, it started really as an act of prayer last year, going to the Good Counsel Network. They have an all-night vigil.
I suppose watching the girls going in and imagine that they seem to be indifferent to what they're doing or something. It's hard to say, but I know they're not. Some say they have a choice, but I think they should keep the baby, no matter what the circumstances. And we've got help for them. But I find it difficult when I see a girl go in and comes out later, and it's obvious that she's had the abortion. That's very difficult.
People intimidating you sometimes, but nothing really bad. One day, two fellas there were security guards and they were actually dressed in their uniform and came up or in my face intimidating me, but I just kept praying. I said the St. Michael prayer, which is very helpful, and eventually they weren't moving, so I just phoned the police, and as soon as I was on the phone to the police they moved. So it's nothing very, but you get the odd comments from people shouting in the street passing by, but at the same time you get at both sides, you get a lot of people giving you encouraging, like I had 3 people this morning already telling me that we were doing great work and to keep it up, so you get both sides. You can get people encouraging you or people just shouting comments at you.
Yeah, sometimes people, will pass and shout at you or swear at you, but you need to be humble, You need to just ignore these people, pray for them, Stay angry. And why are they angry?
Anytime we come and you see beautiful young girls in a situation, the toughest time of their life, and very often they're left alone, so the boyfriend will drop them off and go. It's very difficult emotionally, as a person you want to go and hug them and give them comfort.
Some of them don't. You wouldn't even know they're going into the clinic, to be honest, and they just take a sharp turn before they get to you, so that's a bit difficult because or some of them, a lot of them that don't want to talk to you, you can see that they're just walking back really swiftly, and that you know that you're not going to kind of enter into any conversation with them, or else they're on the phone. There's 1 or 2 that will walk slowly and they'll walk around the clinic for a while, and I think they're more approachable because sometimes they're thinking about it before they go in.
Some are indifferent and some are some are actually, kind of, I suppose, false happiness, I suppose, the bravado.
They all look, they're in a very difficult part of their lives, and it's a big decision. Nobody comes there thinking it's easy or a quick solution. They know somewhere the consequences, and you can see they look drained and in pain and hurting and in need of help, in need of prayer.
Some are different. Every individual girl is different, but a lot of times they're confused. You can see that they have the head down. They're walking with the head down.
Some of them, they're very angry, and if you would try to give them a leaflet, they kind of shout at you, or so they definitely not in a good place,
Yeah.
Yes, even today.
Just before.
Yeah, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago, yeah.
Wonderful.
It's working.
Well, just this morning we had a couple, Justine was there, and they came out, and 2 girls, 1 girl was pregnant, I think, and she said she was going to keep the baby. She said she couldn't go through with it. Whether it was our presence or whether she's changing her mind for other reasons, I don't know, but it's a great joy to think that there's a baby alive today because we were there maybe, or I've been there when other girls changed their mind, and I've seen babies that could have been aborted that are alive today because of our presence, our prayers, or our presence, and it's a joy to see them, and it gives me great pleasure to be with the baby, or to just be with the woman and help them out whatever way we can.
You pray, you are God's instrument, and you can help to save their life. What do you think? That's beautiful. It's worth it, definitely.
Well, it makes sense. They might not turn around immediately now, but they'll think about it next time. They know now there's an option. They know they don't have to go through it, and it's not an easy procedure. If they had to discover it the first time, they'll definitely know the difficulties involved the second time, and could be more likely to ask for our help.
It does, of course, yeah, it does. Especially when you see the results.
Oh yes, it's very powerful. It's a very blessed place to be, really, because you're in the heart of what's going on in the city, and wherever you're praying, it makes. I pray on the tubes. I pray in churches. Ideal place is probably to pray in the church, but you can pray anywhere, and when you're outside the clinic and you're praying, all your worries go away, and you just think of God and Our Lady, and you leave it all in God's hands. Everything will work out for the best. It's a witness. It's a witness for everybody that's going up and down as well. So some people might have never prayed in their lives, and when they see us with the rosary beads, they wonder what we're doing. We sometimes hand out rosary beads to them, which is a good thing, and prayer cards, and I think it's worthwhile. Yeah.
Well, in the church you're getting strength. You're living in the silence, and here we're an active. It's really an active prayer. It's not about going inside yourself. It's about taking the strength that you get in the church from the Mass, bringing it into the public square, and sharing it with people. You know, sharing the spiritual gifts that we do get, and the power, and helping the world by informing consciences. So it's about trying to develop and express those fruits of the prayer in the church in a very positive way.
So I think you are involved in everything in here, you know. I quite often, feel the presence of God in here, you know. Sometimes after, days of praying, I go home and I feel joy. It's unbelievable, you know. I feel joy, I feel happy, you know. And nothing, to be honest, nothing, since I started doing this, nothing else brings me that much happiness.
Bringing God into the world, it's like a witness where people who wouldn't go to church would witness you there if you're kneeling down, or if you're saying the rosary, or if you have your hands raised up or whatever, and people will. They wonder what you're doing. They might think you're a bit crazy or it's funny, but no, it's worth. I think it's time we brought God into the world as well, not just confine Him to the church. Even though I do go to church, but I think it's worthwhile bringing Him out, going out into the streets as well.
Being here is like being God's hands and feet and mouth, doing His work in the battle against the abortion, against the abortion industry.
I don't know. You feel like you feel like a disciple? Can you say that? I think so. Yeah.
Because of the prayer, we're never left into despair. So it's a very hopeful and joyful time to be there, expressing your faith with fellow Christians and showing your appreciation for every life.
It's a joy to be here. It's a joy. It's just it's a blessing as well.
The world needs Christian witness at the moment. It doesn't need Christians to be hidden away and practiced privately. And this is a way of telling people how important every single human life is.
Just come and pray and come and see what we do. It's never a dull moment when you're out there, because there's always something happening that's exciting.
Come, praying for 15 minutes, 10 minutes, half an hour, and see, you will feel the presence of God in your life.
Ny fitiavana lay reny mbola afako iokafa to tsy akiteniteny nefa enoko mitafa